Hey, everybody. How are you? It's Connie Stewart. Hey, I am so excited about this opportunity that Creativate has to share with you guys about social media and to train you on social media. I'm a huge fan of social media, and my number one reason I'm a fan of it, it's free advertising. I've said that a lot to you guys, and we never want to pass up that free advertising, right? There are a lot of things in business, it seems like. They say if you want to make money, you got to spend money. You know what? Social media is one area that you don't. Today, though, I'm going to be talking about blogging. So, a little about me. I actually started blogging in March of 2008. I had to go look it up because it's been a while. Yeah, March of 2008 is when I started. So, let me start from the very beginning. And that is when I started blogging, there was a platform out there called Blogger. I think it's still around. I got to be honest, I'm not 100% sure. It's called Blogger, and it was a free platform, and you could just easily set up a website. Pretty simple. They had different themes, and you could just drop in some graphics, and boom, you were a blogger. If that program is still around, it was great. There's so many more options available to you now when it comes to blogging because you've probably heard of Wix. I've seen commercials for those. Now, a lot of these platforms I really don't know a lot about because over time, as you blog and as you grow, you change things. So, again, starting in 2008 to where I am now, my blog has actually gone through a lot of changes. So, I started with Blogger in 2008, and I think it was about 2011, 2012. I hired someone to update my blog, give it that retro look that I wanted. And yes, it is true. I paid someone to do it, which is, I'm going to go down my rabbit trail. You're going to hear me probably go down a lot of rabbit trails. I do pay someone to do that. And here's the reason why: I don't know anything about it. And the time it would take me to go out and really learn how to do it, I was busy trying to run my business. So for me, that was actually my Christmas gift from my husband that year. He said, "Yep, that was my gift." I said, "That's what I wanted, a new blog." And let me tell you, that was the best gift I ever got. I also got a new computer to go along with it. So that was a nice little bonus. But when this gal made my blog, she also switched me over to WordPress. Now, once I moved over to WordPress, that's when I had to start paying a monthly fee for my blog. I'm going to tell you, I don't even remember how much it was. It's not a lot, okay? It's not a lot to pay for that monthly. I don't know, 10, 12 bucks a month or something. Please don't quote me on that. There are some things that really you're just going to want to do your research. So currently I am on WordPress for my blog. So yeah, I went from Blogger to WordPress. And then let's see, after the 2012, I think it was probably around 2016, it was time to freshen up my blog. Business was going really well. I needed more features to my blog. Again, I hired another person. The girl I had used was no longer doing it, so I hired someone else to come along and recreate the blog that I have today. Now, that brings me to a really good point. Guys, we all started somewhere. We all didn't start way up here. So I want to encourage you to go ahead and start where you are now. I don't want to see anyone invest tons of money into fancy blogs and fancy this and that and graphics and all that. You really can do this stuff on your own to start out with these programs that will help you build your blog for now. When you see things grow and see things change, that's when you're going to start taking the income that you're making off your blog and put it back into the business. So let's talk just blog. There's a word. Uh, Really, it's interesting. Back in 2008 when I started, there were, oh, I'm going to call them the unspoken rules of the blogging world. Back then, oh, well, you've got to blog 7 days a week. What? You're not blogging 7 days a week? Well, you got to change that. You got to be out there all the time, 7 days a week. Okay, okay. So I'm blogging 7 days a week. And I did that, and it was kind of exhausting, but I wasn't necessarily doing videos all the time. It was just showing projects that I was working on. And then it kind of slowly went to, oh yeah, you don't have to work, you don't have to blog on the weekends. It's okay if you don't blog on the weekends. Oh, okay, okay. So I could take the weekends off. Okay, good. So that meant I could put maybe a little more love and TLC into my Monday through Friday blog post. And then again, the blogging world changed some more. Oh, it's all about great content. So you want quality over quantity. So we switched again. Okay, why do I share all this? Okay, was I pulling my hair out? No, you got to remember this happened over years' time. But the blogging world has changed so much because social media has changed so much. Back in 2008, nobody knew what Pinterest was. We all went to blogs back in 2008, 2009, 10, 12. We were going to blogs to get ideas. That's where you went. And really, I'm going to say it was probably around the 2010, 2011 mark. Again, don't quote me. That's when we started seeing YouTube really coming into play with what we did. And there were some Stampin' Up! Demonstrators out there who were doing videos. And so that was kind of a whole new platform. Now, we're not going to get into that today, but all that to say that it is a progression. Everything with what you see where blog is today has gone through this progression because today, even people don't necessarily follow blogs anymore, do they? How often do you go to someone's, oh, I'm going to follow their blog. Oh, I'm going to go to their blog. I go to their blog every day to see what they've posted. No, we might go to Pinterest because we can find so many ideas quicker and faster and all there. And we've got them all on our board so we can see everything we want to see like that. And I know Pinterest is a topic, if it hasn't already been discussed, I know it's going to be. So blogging's really, I'm going to call blogging today for Stampin' Up! Demonstrators. Guys, it's actually more of a landing page these days. So it is a place that people can go when they've seen you on YouTube, they've seen your project on Pinterest, they follow you on Instagram or Facebook. It's a place to bring them back. And in that blog, this is where you have that opportunity to tell them where they can order, get the measurements, see more pictures, whatever it is you want to guide them to. And that's really, I would say, more for demonstrators today. Use your blog as kind of that landing page for what it is that you do. It's also a great place, like I said, for people to be at your blog and go, now where can I buy that? Click this button and you can buy this. See the supply list, click here to see the supply list. Order here, all that kind of good stuff. You want them to have one central place where they can do that. So that's a little bit of my take on blogging. All right, now let's talk about what to do with a blog, what to say. The good news is blogging for Stampin' Up! Demonstrators and for crafters in general is not the same as it is maybe for someone who's a mommy blog. Well, a mommy blog is all about them telling you their day and how they potty train their child, where with what we do, we're a little more quick and to the point. Hey, here's this great card. Let me share either maybe some photos or some measurements or some pictures, and you can make this, and here's where you can buy it, and that's it. So we don't have to be real chatty, unlike Connie right now in this video. Yes, you do not have to be uber chatty on a blog. If you've been to any cooking blogs, recipe blogs, please raise your hand if you get frustrated with a recipe blog and they're talking forever about how this was their grandmother's recipe. And you remember when you were 5 years old and she was, you just want to go, okay, enough, because they'll go on for 30 minutes with all that stuff. And do you find yourself scrolling and go, just get to the recipe, please, right? Okay, well, I think many times it's really good for us as Stampin' Up! Demonstrators to get to the point. And by the way, I have to apologize if you hear that banging. That is my dog who desperately wants in my craft room. So the good news for you, keep it short. Isn't that nice? Yeah, we don't need to go into a lot of detail on the blog itself. But I have picked up some tips on words to use in a blog, and they're called your keywords. And so those are those words that people would search. So maybe quick and easy card. Okay, if that's the title of your blog post, quick and easy card created with the love of leaves stamp set. Okay, well, love of leaves is a keyword. Quick and easy cards is a keyword. Handmade cards, stamped cards, things like that. Make sure you're trying to kind of tie some of those words into your blog post. Now, I'm going to tell you, we're not going to get into a lot of that whole, Connie, what is SEO? Well, that's all the search engine. That's where people can search and find you. This is a whole nother ballgame, okay? This goes somewhere else, and we're not going to get into all of that today, but I do want you to find ways to incorporate those words into your blog. Now, we're going to use the favorite phrase that you guys just love here on the Creativate team. Google it. Everything I learned through Google. I learned how to do videos by Googling. I watched a lot of YouTube videos on how to do YouTube videos. I watched a lot of really bad videos. And guys, those same videos, though, are out there for blogging. And so you want to find the most current ones. I wouldn't want to watch a blogging video from 2008 because that is some outdated information. If you're using a program like Wix, well, Wix is going to have a lot of training videos for you. And so you can watch their videos and they're going to walk you through that stuff. Just remember what our core is of our business, and that is stamping, paper crafting, card making, scrapbooking, DIY, home decor. Okay, so just kind of keep those things in mind as you're watching these videos versus they're showing you how to be a mommy blogger, because you go, well, it's not quite me, but let me see what tips I can pick up. So I do want to encourage you to do it. Done is better than perfect. Oh my goodness, when I go back and see some of my first blog posts, I just, want to go gray. But done is better than perfect, because if I waited around to be perfect, well, I never get that opportunity to keep practicing getting better. If I'm waiting to be perfect, it's not going to happen. So I just want to encourage you to just get out there, start a simple blog, learn how to create great photographs and graphics. So I think it's going to be my next segue. Let's kind of talk about that. Good photography is key. It really is. It's the same way on Pinterest as well. If your photo of your card is dark, boring, they see all the junk behind on your stamp desk and you just slapped it down on a piece of grid paper that's covered in ink, well, it's going to get looked past, okay? And so I want to encourage you to do some searching and Google about good photography. A hot trend right now is called flat photography. And this is something that's actually very simple to do. I do, by the way, my fancy camera, that's my iPhone. I don't have fancy equipment, guys. I just use my iPhone. And then I personally purchased they're backdrops for food photography. Found them on Amazon. I just Googled food photography backdrops. I bought a set of 3. In fact, if you'll give me just a second, I'm going to run over there and grab one. So it's pretty big. I think that they're like 15 by 36. So you can see that's a nice backdrop. So if I have my stamp set to maybe the card or something, this gives a nice backdrop again versus the icky stamped all over grid paper. Something else I did is I took one of those sheets, I cut it in half, and well, not quite in half, it's a little bit more than that. And recognize that chipboard? Yeah. And so this is another way that I take photos, and I have a light box because good lighting is crucial. And so let me see if I can handle this. So I would put this here, and then like I said, if I wanted to put my stamp set or my card, could go right there. I know I'm probably making a mess out of that, but I wanted you to see how you can use those backdrops if you want to do regular photography. So you want your card standing up. That is definitely an option. I'm going to swing my camera over here so I can show you my light box. So this is my light box. Pardon all my mess around it. But right up here are some built-in lights. And that's really awesome that it's all built in. So here are those boards I was just showing you. So you can see I can just stack it like that. I can put my card right there. And then over here is a little collection of what I call my props. Yeah, they're just different props. And so now, and I'm going to zoom in, that is what my photo would look like, just like that. Now, the beauty of that light box is that it is designed to have a great amount of light. I will tell you, I picked that up on Amazon as well. It is called Orange Monkey. If you will search for that, or you can just search for collapsible light box. Again, I think I'm going to say that's probably maybe about 20 by 20, somewhere around there, maybe 18 by 18. It's a perfect little box. And I didn't show you this, but it also collapses down. So you don't have to leave it up all the time. I just happen to have a really great space that I can leave that up. But it is crucial, in my opinion, when you are going to blog, that you have good photography, because we don't want you to get looked over. Now, another thing that you can do, and I mentioned it earlier, and that is flat photography. And that's where you would take that same thing, and I'm going to take you back over to my window and show you how I do that just quickly. Wow, it's so fancy, Connie. Yeah, that's it, you guys. So now for this card, you see, can you see this is flat? And I would take my picture something like this. These little guys I just took out of my out of that little vase, and now I have a really nice flat photo. Okay, so there are a lot of different types of those backgrounds that you can choose. I'm a huge fan of the wood, marble, shiplap, that kind of look versus a bright solid. One of the reasons I don't particularly like going with the solids is, and I tried this, so I tried to have the color of my walls. I love this Tiffany blue color. And I tried that, but every time I put a picture on it, guess what happens when you have a blue background? Well, it's a photography trick, but your camera is going to try to overcompensate for that blue, and your card might, the white might turn green. So I really like to try to keep my backgrounds neutral, and I also don't want them to overpower the card, but we want them to pop. That's why I really like to add those little props. So those are things that just kind of make your blog look a little extra special, a little professional. I had a great time at Hobby Lobby shopping their clearance racks and things for some great photography, or great props for my photography. I have some for Christmas, and I have some for fall and summer. And yeah, I just kind of different things that I find. If it's chipped or something, so it's like majorly on clearance, great. I get that because I can work that into a piece of photography and you won't even know that it's got a chip in it. So there's that. So yeah, I just want to encourage you to do, again, some Googling on how to take really good photographs, and how to just kind of better your best when it comes to your photography. But again, I reiterate, no special equipment needed, guys. It really is that simple. Yep, just your iPhone and a simple little backdrop. Let me say this too. If you don't want to invest in that backdrop, that's fine. You might find going out on your outside deck might have, you've got a wood deck. Well, that's an instant background. You might have just a cute little metal table, patio table. Well, you could put your card on that, and the trees and the grass behind you might work great. When you're looking at your photos, okay, you're about to take your photo, you want to kind of pay attention, and here are the things you want to look for. Do I have is it backlit? Is the sun coming right on it, causing it to go dark? Is there a bad shadow on it? Ooh, we don't want that. And that just means you might have to take that card. I'm gonna give you a great example. There's that's because the light's shining on it, or that. So yeah, when I take a picture, I don't want that. You can't even see that, right? But now you see it pretty good. So those are the kinds of things. Stop and look as if you're looking at a photo before you snap the picture, because you might need to just kind of move things around, especially if you are in your front or backyard and you're trying to take some pictures. You have to think about where the sun is. And so you may have to move some things around. Hope that's helpful. I think photography, I'm not a big photographer. It's not like my thing. But I do like my photos to look really, really nice. You're also going to want to edit your photos. And again, I'm going to just ask you to Google for photo editing software. But I will tell you, if you're on a PC, you have software built in. If you're on a Mac, you have software built in. And so I encourage you to just go out and YouTube and look how to use XYZ software, because it's out there and they'll kind of show you some really great tips. Okay, now I want to talk just really quick about graphics. Oh my goodness, the graphics world has changed a lot of what we do. It used to be so easy to blog. We just yip yapped a little bit and we had some photos and click here to order from my online store, and that was it. But now we want to make sure customers know and see lots of really great eye-catching graphics. Guys, it's a big, huge world out there online, and we've got to capture their attention like that. I am a fan of a program called PicMonkey. There's also Canva that I know a lot of people are big fans of. There's different ones out there. Again, search. Lots of them have free trials. Try out the free trials, see what you think of the programs. And here, when you use, and again, I'm just going to talk PicMonkey because that's the one that I use, but they have templates that you can do collages where you could put 3 or 4 pictures in one picture. They have really fun fonts and different cool things you can do with the fonts, and they're already built in. You just literally drop and drag and you just change the word. This one says fashion wardrobe style. Yeah, well, I'm taking that out. I don't want to say that. And I'm going to say YouTube Live or something like that. So you can really play a lot with graphics and add some great text to a card. So if you've made a really great card and you want to say the Love of Leaves stamp set by Stampin' Up, well, it's really nice to be able to get that text onto your photos. And again, it's eye-catching. It makes people happy. These are the images that you can turn around and get on Pinterest, and also your thumbnails for YouTube videos and on your blog. Remember, there's going to be one photo that's probably going to be the main photo. So yeah, I think graphics are a great way to grab people's attention. I really use them a lot. I know we're talking social media, so you're actually going to be able to use those graphics beyond your blog, because remember, out on social media, Facebook, Instagram, or any of those, you need those eye-catching graphics. Nobody reads a Facebook post anymore. They want photos, and they're going to scroll, 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 and it's those photos. Boom, 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 and that's what they're going to pay attention to. And so let's say, well, okay, let's use this social media training. If Jackie had just put the post out there, Creativate's going to do some social media training in September, be sure to join us, how many of you would even have noticed it? Probably not. But she had that graphic, didn't she, with the Creativate team logo and social media training and coming soon. And yeah, she had great graphics that jumped out at you. Guys, when it comes to blogging, we want those same things. If you've got new videos coming soon, well, make a graphic. Let your customers know, oh, wait, she's going to start a YouTube channel, and or that a free tutorial is coming tomorrow. Well, make a quick graphic of that. Now, none of this happens overnight. It takes time. And I know time scares you. Yeah, I get it, because I can feel the same way and it can be overwhelming. So I want to go back to something I said at the very beginning. Done is better than perfect. You don't have to do the great photography and the great graphics and the great blog and the fabulous website and you don't have to have all that to start, but kind of start setting some goals in mind of where you want your blog to start, where you'd like it to be in a month, 6 months, a year, and kind of start going, okay, well, I'm getting comfortable with this. All right, yeah, I'm blogging pretty quick. I got this. All right. Now maybe you want to start practicing some of that great flat photography. Okay, I'm gonna get that. And you start to get comfortable with it till you can do it without really having to think about it as much. Now maybe you're ready to get into graphics. So it's all about the baby steps. All right. So one step at a time, done is better than perfect. 2008 to 2020. I can't begin to tell you how much I have grown, learned, evolved, changed what I've done in that amount of time. And you can do the same thing. So I'm going to give you one of my favorite quotes ever. When is the best time to plant a shade tree? About 15 years ago. When is the second best time to plant a shade tree? Today. So today is your day that you are going to start to change things in your business, in social media. You're going to make your presence out there, and find ways to take that blog, grow it, nurture it, water it, keep adding to it. And guys, in no time, you're going to also have a beautiful shade tree. So I hope that today's video was helpful to you. To those of you that already blog, I hope maybe it gave you just a few new ideas, maybe some other things to think about. And for those of you that are on the fence and you're just about ready to get started, I hope this gives you some confidence. I hope more than anything that I haven't overwhelmed you and you went, oh man, I got to do all that stuff Connie said. No, no, no. Baby steps. Take one step at a time and get out there and create yourself a blog that you can be proud of. It's really fun also to go back years and years and go and see some of the stuff that you made. It's please don't go back to my blog and look at 2008. I don't even want to know what was on there. But anyway, it's been a great journey, and I'm very glad that back in 2008 I planted my shade tree, and you can too. So start it today. All right, that's all for me. Thank you guys for being a part of the Creativate social media training. I hope it's been helpful to you. I'm looking forward to getting down there and reading and watching all of the videos in the training because I'm sure even I can pick up a few tips or two. So I'm excited about that. Have a fabulous day, everybody, and I look forward to talking to you guys soon. So bye-bye.